G'day, welcome back. Today we're going to look at bleeding fuel systems on common rail diesel engines. They're quite different to the older style diesels, ones with low pressure pumps that suck the fuel through, so after you change the filter all you have to do is crank the tits off it and it'll start. Doesn't happen on modern diesels. They don't have low pressure pumps, they don't have electric pumps at all. It's all done by a high pressure diesel pump, so you've got to actually prime the system, get all the air out, make sure it's just sucking fuel. If you don't do that, well, one, it's never going to start, and two, you probably blow the bollocks off the high pressure diesel pump, and they're probably not cheap. So I'm going to show you how I do it on the Mondeo. First time I've done it on the Mondeo, but essentially for all common rail diesels, generally all common rail diesels, it's pretty similar. What you need is some kind of priming pump. This is a typical priming bulb style one. It's got a direction arrow, so as you squeeze, still a bit of diesel in this, so I don't want to squeeze it too hard. It's a one-way valve. You squeeze it, pumps, sucks fuel through. So I'm not going to show you how I actually change the filter. That's really easy. The filter lives under the back right wheel of the car, sits in a filter bowl. This is the old one. Essentially all you do is, there's a drain on the filter bowl, you drain the fuel off, crack the housing open, swap over the element. You see this one was definitely due for a change. Put it all back together. Now what you can do to speed up the bleeding process is fill the bowl full of some fresh diesel. That reduces your hand action, kind of cuts down the priming time, means you're not going to end up with a cramp in your hand like a K-Road hooker on a Sunday morning. So do that, speeds it up a wee bit, and follow the video. I'm going to make this a fairly generic video. As I say in the video, you've got a supply fuel line, which is the thicker diameter one. Fuel comes in, goes through the pump, through the injectors. Any excess fuel goes back to the return line. So what you want to do is find that return line, crack it open and pump the fuel from there. That means as you start pumping, fuel's going to go from the tank, fill up the bowl, come through the supply line, through the diesel pump, injectors, rail, all that stuff. And any air bubbles you might have will be in that return line, which shouldn't matter too much. So yeah, every car is different, but principle's the same. Most of these modern cars don't have priming bulbs or a manual way of priming the system. You've got to use a pump of some sort. Ford's got one in the service manual. It probably costs hundreds of dollars. This costs $20 for this little setup. Earlier Mondeos, the lines actually run a bit differently, and that'd probably be a bit easier to do than the older ones, than the newer ones, because the male and female side of the fuel line swapped over, so it's a bit of a pain getting this 5/16 connector in the return line, but you can do it, not a problem. Either that or you can plug into the line somewhere else. It doesn't matter where you do it, as long as you're on the return line. Pump away, and it should start up as you see it. If it starts and stalls out, you just have to prime it again. I've sped up the video just because you don't really want to see me give a pump the Gundy for 10 minutes, but yeah, 5-10 minutes of pumping should get it all sorted out. And if you watch to the end of the video, we've got another beer review, something a little bit different, so we'll see you at the end. Right, so first of all you need to identify your fuel lines. You should have two. You'll have a supply and a return. The supply is the thicker one at the bottom, return's the thinner one at the top. We're going to deal with the return. What we're going to do, we're going to release the clip, which means a screwdriver or something to pull the tab out, and you can get that line off. Then we need a pump to bleed it. Get one in there, over in there. we go, we're starting to get fuel flow, so we need to keep doing this until we get no bubbles. Second attempt. Okay, so today's beer, it's brewed in New York, Brooklyn brand lager. 5.2%, product of the USA as you hope. What's this all about? Doesn't really say much. Got water, malted barley, hops, yeast. And it's translated into heaps of different languages. You get 10 cents back if you take the bottle back in Quebec, or 10 cents in South Australia. But yeah, crack it open, see what it tastes like. There's a bit of a fizz. Hopefully a little bit more than that one yesterday. Jeeps, it's quite dark. It's definitely kind of an amber kind of ale. A little bit of a head on it. See what she tastes like. Doesn't smell very wheaty, which is a nice change. Got a hoppy note to it. Actually tastes quite wheaty. Again, it's not very fizzy. Maybe these import beers, the fizzle disappears. But it's more of an ale than a lager, really. Even though I said that's cool. Apparently it's a direct descendant of the pre-prohibition favourite Vienna lager style. A firm malt centre supported by refreshing bitterness and a floral dry hopped aroma. Yeah, it's kind of got that malty taste. Yeah, it's not bad. Definitely an American style lager, ale. Right. So where does this stack up? So here's our beer scale. If you remember, we had the nest down there somewhere. Probably actually the other side, of course. I was being a bit kind to the nest yesterday. So this one, yeah, it's a decent, well-made lager. We'll probably go over halfway. We'll give that about a 6. See it? Maybe there. It's a solid lager, it stands up against the competition. Not too shabby. If you can buy, I've never heard of this one, so if you can buy it, if you can find it, interested to know what you think, see what it compares to. And yeah, thanks for watching.